Come in. Let's talk about what meditation practice really is. Not the kind you perform to look holy, not the kind you squeeze into your day like vitamins. I'm talking about the path that reveals the nature of mind, layer by layer. Like peeling bark off of an ancient tree until you discover the sap, the heartbeat, the space where light gets in. There are 5 main territories to move through. Not in a linear line, more like a spiral that deepens each time we pass through. Shamatha is the still flame. We start with stillness, always. We sit, we breathe, we focus on one thing. Breath, sound, flame, whatever holds you without pulling you in. This is Shamatha, calm abiding. It teaches the mind to stop lurching from craving to memory like a drunk monkey. A basic truth, Shamatha builds concentration. That's it. No fluff, no enlightenment, just stability. But what's fascinating, modern science shows it literally reshapes the brain. More grey area in the prefrontal cortex, less reactivity in the amygdala. The mind gets calmer, stronger, clearer. When do we use it? Anytime you feel scattered, anxious, or like your mind is at 10 rooms at once. Why is it first? Because without a steady flame, there is no light to see by. Your teachers describe it as taming a wild elephant. First, it drags you, and you continuously, lovingly remind its direction with a rope. Eventually, it follows the feather of your breath. Vipassana, the clear mirror. Once you can stay, you can see. Vipassana is insight. It's what happens when the surface of the water stills enough to reveal the depths. You start watching sensations, thoughts, feelings. Not fixing them, just observing. You begin to notice everything changes. And the one who's watching, that eye, that's shifting too. Here's a wild fact. In this practice, you realize the observer isn't fixed. It's not a solid self, just another process arising and passing. Use Vipassana when you want to understand the roots of suffering, when you're ready to stop being fooled by your own thoughts. Why does it follow Shamatha? Because only a stable mind can pierce the veil. Otherwise, you're just reacting to your reactions. There's a big difference between thinking about impermanence and watching your breath vanish before you can catch it. That's when truth stops being a concept and becomes contact. Shunyata, the sky itself. Now the ground falls away. After you see clearly, you begin to notice something stranger still. None of it has any fixed core. Thoughts, people, emotions, even me. All empty of solidity, and yet everything shimmers with meaning. That's Shunyata, emptiness. Not bleakness, not nihilism. Emptiness like sky, like possibility. The basic understanding is that nothing exists on its own. Everything arises in relation to everything else. That's what makes freedom possible. Here's a mind bender for you. Quantum physicists say the more closely they examine particles, the more they find probability. Not substance, not permanence, just potential. Use this perspective when clinging gets tight, when identity becomes a trap, when you're grasping for control. Shunyata unhooks you. Why here? Because first you stabilize, then you see, and then you let go of the very idea that there's something to fix. Emptiness is not the end, it's the womb. The silence from which form, compassion, and wild creativity are born. Guru Yoga, the lightning thread. Then there's this moment, you've seen so much, but you're exhausted, maybe a little lost. You need transmission, you need remembrance. That's where Guru Yoga comes in. You visualize the teacher, not as a personality, but as awakened mind. And you merge. Sometimes the Guru is a human teacher. Often, it's an archetype that exists outside of you. You're not quite worshipping, you're receiving, you're aligning. The basic truth, it reconnects you to lineage, a part of your higher self, to the very heart of truth. Some of the most direct methods in Dzogchen rely solely on this. Not analysis, not effort, just direct recognition through devotion. Use it when you feel cut off, when your inner flame flickers, when you've tasted emptiness but forget how to live it. Why now? Well, because after you've dropped the self, you're ready to receive the mind that knows. Devotion isn't about bowing down. It's about melting resistance. Love is the solvent that dissolves separation. Finally, we have Deity Yoga, the body of light. Now, finally, you rise as the form of what you've realized. You don't just visualize a deity, you become it. Not as fantasy, but as training. You rehearse enlightened identity until it stops feeling foreign. Basic fact, this is called Deity Yoga. You take the body, speech and mind of an awakened being and wear it like your skin until it soaks in. When people do Deity Yoga long term, it changes how they identify and empathize. The brain literally starts firing in more expansive ways. Use it when you want to embody the medicine. when just observing isn't enough, when you need to move as compassion, speak as clarity, act as power. And why does it last? Well, because it's the culmination. First you learn to see the truth, then you learn to be it. The deity was actually never separate from you. It's your face beneath the mask. The whole practice is remembering. And so, these 5 don't compete. They complete each other. Shamatha steadies the mind. Vipassana reveals the illusions. Shunyata opens the ground beneath it. Guru Yoga connects you to the source. And Deity Yoga lets you move through the world as the light that you are. Practice isn't linear, it's spiral. You'll revisit each one again and again, but each time with more depth, more ease, more flame. And if you ever forget, come back to the breath. Come back to the ground. Come back to your seat. That's where everything begins and ends and begins again.